Now I'm on. Oh, yeah, that was bad. Okay. I know Ty. We've known each other a while. Okay. Okay. Met the president. Met you. Okay. Great. Okay.
I'm Bill Du Bois, I'm on the board of trustees.
Great. Matt. Okay.
Bob Beck is interim director of Kansas City.
Okay, great. And I think I know everybody else. All right, I'm Jill Koslosky. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself and then I can take some questions. I'm a product of the community college world. I graduated from Fort Morgan, Colorado, and Morgan Community College. Transferred to Colorado State. My bachelor's degree is in journalism. My master's degree is in ag science. Now you're wondering how in the heck I ended up in education. My advisor at Colorado State knew the dean of a small college of the University of Nebraska, and I got a phone call out of the blue one day, and he said, "This is Dr. Don Woodburn," and Dr. Glenn Rath said, "You're the person I need you to come to Nebraska." And I said, "I don't want to live in Nebraska, and who are you?" And so he was very convincing, and we ended up moving to Nebraska. I was the admissions director, and I also taught 12 credit hours a semester when I was out there. I had an amazing team. We really learned together. We had great recruiting success. Very much enjoyed the teaching aspect of it, although when we moved to Coffeyville, Kansas, I asked that he either choose teaching or the role in enrollment management, because teaching was, it's challenging, and I feel like it takes a lot of work, and it tended to be the classes I was in were a lot of classes that were things like evaluating writing and stuff like that took a lot of time. So when I was in Nebraska for 5 years, and I was looking at a job at Texas A&M, and Dr. Woodburn had left Nebraska 2 years before that and was now in Coffeyville, Kansas. And I called him for a reference, and he wouldn't leave me alone until I said I would look at Coffeyville. And so at the same time, I had worked with a lady that was had then moved on to Concordia, Kansas at Cloud County, a community college there, and so they were also asking if I would consider a position there. So I went ahead and interviewed at both schools and ended up in Coffeyville. Two very different schools for me. The first one, highly agriculture-based, lots of technical programs, great. Was a part of the University of Nebraska system, which meant a variety of different things, but had its own challenges, but a really fun school to be at. The one I'm at now is highly athletic. Both schools are residential. The one I'm at now, we house 500 students in 3 facilities, a women's facility and then 2 men's facilities. We do have a football team, men's basketball. Those would be considered the primary sports, and then we have a whole array of minor sports, including baseball, softball, track, cross country, cheer, dance, all kinds of things. We also have a rodeo team. We have livestock and meats judging, but those are considerably smaller than maybe some of the other athletics. I'm in a part of the country we're almost to Tulsa, Oklahoma, about 45 minutes north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, actually the University of Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture was also very close to the Kansas border, so I'm kind of used to being in schools that are very close to other states and the challenges that presents in terms of recruiting and enrollment. I've been the Dean of Enrollment Management and Marketing at Coffeyville I've been there 6 years. I was there for 4 years, and then when Dr. Woodburn left there, the current Vice President of Student Services took over as the interim president, and so in that year of transition, she asked me to help with student services, and so I was taking on roles as the Vice President of Student Services kind of thing, and then when they offered her the position full-time, she moved me into that VP of Student Services position. So I took over everything that I'd already been doing, which was enrollment management, and then I also picked up housing, athletics, and those were probably the 2 major ones. I also have been overseeing international students and our Native American leadership program since I arrived at Coffeyville. 2.5 years ago, I started a doctorate through the University of Maryland in Community College Administration and Policy. I will graduate, I'll be done in December and graduate in May. Love the program. I fly out to DC 3 times a year to go to that program. It's very specific to community colleges. You had to have 5 years of administrative experience just to get in. They took their Doctor of Management program and geared it wholeheartedly to community colleges. So I've taken classes in everything from assessment to policy to statistics. Right now I'm in an advocacy class, and we're going up on Capitol Hill and talking to senators and congressmen on Friday. So learned a lot about the whole picture of community colleges through that program. My dissertation is a model for building positive relationships between a president and boards of trustees. So, where's my trustees?
I'll take a copy.
Yes. I do need some more reviewers, so we can talk about that. I will tell you 2 things that have really come out about that research are the personality and the leadership style of your president is key, and the way that the board is structured in terms of, I'm not a big policy governance fan, but pieces of policy governance help in defining the roles of a president and the roles of the trustees, so that has helped too in some successes there. Let's see, my leadership style, we took a evaluation, it's called the Hogan Leads Assessment, and I was a little bit off the charts in servant leadership. And then my second highest strength is in transformational leadership. I do like change, but I like change that involves some data-driven decision-making and research and things like that. I love ideas. I'm a huge idea person, and I love it when people come in and say, I got this great idea, and I'm like, ooh, let's hear about it. But that's not the day that we decide we're going to do that idea. That's the day that we start to look into whether or not it's feasible, if it's really going to work for the institution, if it fits with the strategic plan and the mission of the institution. If we pass all of those things, then we move into the next phase of actual implementation. And I think that some of the successes that I've had have been because we've done the upfront work in terms of planning and moving forward projects and things like that. I keep saying, everybody asks me what my leadership or my management style is, and I keep calling it a reverse pyramid, but I don't know what the technical term is. I don't like to stand at the top and dictate what should be done. I'm not the expert in registrar. I'm not the expert in financial aid. So I feel like those people who work with with me, basically they have to tell me what we need, and my job is to support what we need, make sure that it's on track, again, with the mission of the institution and things like that, and to make sure that you have the tools to make those roles successful. Always keeping in mind student success and why we're actually here is for the students. A couple of my passions, I guess, in community colleges. I believe strongly in K-12 collaboration. I feel like long ago has been the deal where they screwed them up and we have to fix them. It's the same student, and we have to see that from the beginning all the way through. And that means that whether it's curriculum alignment or special programming or getting into those high schools earlier, whatever it is, I think that the role of community colleges are uniquely positioned to be able to do that better than most university systems. 3 years ago, we had a 6th grade career day event that the school system decided they couldn't commit another half a day deal for that kind of thing, and they asked us if we could do something else. And I had this harebrained idea that I pitched to our trustees and our president's cabinet, and they said, go for it. Let me preface this by saying we have a very good foundation in Coffeyville. And I also feel that if the community members are paying the taxes for that community college like they do in Kansas, that there should be some benefits. So we give a lot of what we call Montgomery County scholarships to students who are from Montgomery County to come tuition free to Coffeyville. So along those lines, we decided to make a deal with 6th graders in the district. And we gave them a ticket to their future and said, if you graduate from a high school in Montgomery County with a 2.5 grade point average, you can come to Coffeyville for your first 2 years free. The hope was that we would start to see a decline in the number of students that dropped out between 9th and 12th grades, because right now they drop a lot of kids out in the county where I'm at. Our county has high unemployment, high poverty rates, so those were some of the challenges we were facing. We didn't know how well that would go over, and I think even to this day we're very surprised at how well it has gone over. And again, we